Hey guys, and welcome back to Culture Boys, a show where two guys just want to have a chat. I'm Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by Pepe. And this week, we're talking about some more Squid Game.
Yeah, apparently we can't get enough of it.
Would you believe it from the last time we talked about it?
I know.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yes, this week we're talking about Squid Game, the challenge.
Yes, so this is like basically a live action Squid Game. Like live action,
It's a reality, competition show.
yeah. So they basically take the same amount of people and just do the Squid Game, basically recreate it, but obviously not dying. Let's put it that way for early on.
Yeah.
Nathan, before we get any further, do you want to give a breakdown of what this is?
I feel like we just did, but
Yeah.
sure, I'll fill in the gap. Produced by Studio Lambert and The Garden, released on Netflix 22nd of November 2023 to December 6th, 2023. 10 episodes as of recording. A second season has been ordered and I think in production, and it did also get greenlit for a third season.
Mm-hmm.
But as Pepe said before, hundreds of real people from around the world enter a Squid Game style competition for a chance to win the biggest cash prize. Thank you, Netflix.
I thought it was going to be more detailed than that, and I just saw it just there.
No.
It is literally what we said. But yeah, like you said as well, season 2 is actually coming out in November this year.
Yeah.
So it comes out on the 16th, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then, like you said, yeah, they've already. I was talking to my friend today. Yeah, season 3, you can apply to be on it right now.
Interesting.
Cultured Boys and Squid Game.
I would never.
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah, this is like one of those things. On this channel, we've never actually talked about reality TV before.
Yes.
This is one thing that is a first for the channel. And obviously, the Squid Game is probably the most appropriate way of doing it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We could watch Terrace House, but I don't know about that. But yeah.
I mean, for me personally, there's a specific reason we never talk about reality TV, and that's just because I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of reality TV, so.
It used to be quite big for me when I was growing up, like in my teenage years. I used to watch stuff like Big Brother.
Yeah.
And I even got into Love Island a couple seasons, like maybe the past 10 years. I watched a couple seasons of it and got hooked on it. But the problem I have with a lot of reality shows these days is that it's a lot of dedication to watch and it's a lot of keeping up with it. And a lot of them, especially ones that are on linear TV as well, they're like every night as well. So it means you are literally dedicated to watching them.
Yeah.
You can't go like, oh, I'll go out one night and watch it. You have to be like, oh, okay, I've missed this one, so I have to tune in this. It's impossible to just keep going. And I think that's why, for example, like Love Island, when I was into it, I watched half of one season, like the first time, which is how I got into it. So I was like, oh, this is sick. And then the season after that, I watched the whole of it. And that's when I was like, Jesus, this takes a lot out of you. I have to, like, every weeknight, and I think every Sunday, I think it is, because I don't think they put it on Saturdays. It was like you had to watch it to understand what was going on.
Man, that's too much of a time sink.
It is, isn't it? It's an hour as well. So like sometimes you go over that if it was a big episode. So you'd be like, Jesus. So that's my history of reality TV. So coming into this, which is on Netflix, so you can choose when you want to watch it. No pressure on it. 10 episodes, again, an hour long, much like most reality shows. I thought it might be alright. Let's see how this goes.
How many episodes did you watch?
I watched all of them because I was like, I'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And how much did you watch?
We're back to the classic, baby. I watched half of episode 1. I can't stand it.
Half of episode 1. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I couldn't. I got as far as I could get.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't get very far.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. I think it is. You have to really be into your reality TV with this kind of thing. And
yeah.
The reason I stuck with it is I want to see how far they go with this. Like, because obviously in certain Squid Game ones, like obviously there's like the tug of war and there's like the falling through the thing.
Yeah.
So it's actual like that. Like in the series, that is death. Like you're dead. Like in every single challenge.
Yeah.
I was like, how far are they going to go with this? I want to see how it does it. And it's a mix of actual challenges from the Squid Game and original stuff, because obviously there's only so much you can do. Because
you can't have actual people like doing a life or death tug of war.
I mean, that's one thing, because at one point, I think the challenges were following how the series went. So it was red light, green light, then it went into the cookie one.
Yeah, Delgado, yeah.
Yeah, and then everyone was like, okay, so we've done those two. Tug of War's gonna be next. So I think it must have been episode 3 or 4 when this hat goes down. A lot of the contestants anticipate that it's gonna be tug of war. So one team heavily stocks up on like muscular dudes and athletic dudes, and they're like, we're gonna win this, we're gonna win it. And then they go into it, and it's a game of battleships, which means it's its own original game.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember seeing that in the something.
Yeah.
In the one of the, I don't know, fucking, in the 30 to 35 minutes I watched, I remember seeing Battleship, and I was like, that wasn't on the fucking show, but that would have been cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of them moving forward from that, which are like, oh, okay, so this is going to be original stuff. So it throws a lot of the contestants off guard, which is good, because otherwise people would just be anticipating blah, 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 blah.
I'd imagine if the actual show had battleships, it would be one of the most gruesome fucking things in the whole show.
Yeah. I'd imagine they actually, it is like literally like someone's, well... We know what Squid Game's like, yeah.
You stand in a spot and there's fucking like C4 under you or some
Yeah.
shit. Like, I wouldn't be, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised, because it's Squid Game. They're just like, oh, you died.
Exactly. Just actually the whole battleship sinks. Oh, shit. But they did do the glass bridge one. They did do that.
Yeah.
And I am curious at how that worked out, because in obviously in Squid Game the challenge, they actually look like they're falling through, and I'm there like, obviously you don't see them walk away afterwards. So obviously at the end they do a little montage of all the people that took part. It's like, oh look, there's this person.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, I wonder how they made that work, you know, like was it like a ball pit underneath, or like some sort of sponge thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, like at the trampoline parks, or like a gymnastics gym, they have that like foam pit.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they had that down there, and they just worked really hard to have it so that like the camera angle, you don't pick up that there's something down there, you know?
Yeah. And like there's
like some sort of perspective thing, and then just editing like magic.
And even there's probably a lot of like like CGI and like you said, editing magic and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I was curious at how, because obviously they don't show you what happens, so I was like, I'm curious at how that looked. That was the one that like most looked like people had died from that one. But all in all, though, as a series and as a reality show, I think it's you're either gonna really enjoy it, or you're really gonna dislike it.
Yeah.
I think if you're an original Squid Game fan, I know you obviously dislike reality TV in general, so it's like
I hated it.
Yeah. What was the thing that like kind of annoyed you the most of it?
So from game 1, red light, green light, and just the confessionals, it was just like I could see the strings being pulled, you know, like I could see in my mind where producers are like hanging around, like, okay, so you're gonna be that, you're gonna do this, and like I was telling my family about it earlier, and I was like, so you know, they're trying to recreate what the show is like, but there's also no stakes because it's just a game. I was like, basically a squib or a blood pack, you're wearing it, and if you lose, it goes off. But I was like, the person has to pretend to die.
Yeah.
So I was like, that for one is like, okay, fair enough. You can't actually, they're not gonna die. But I was like, that was also kind of lame. But it was, do you remember in Red Light, Green Light, there's just this one woman that she's barely been on camera at that point. And all of a sudden she's just like, the pressure's got to me. She's breaking down. She sits down, she cries, and then she loses. And I'm like, I don't even know who that was.
Yeah.
You're doing this so that there's some sort of suspense, so I care. And I was like, it's just so overproduced.
It is very overproduced
and so reality show that I was just like, I can't take this anymore. And then like, I stopped because they get into the the bunk bedroom.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like chatting and stuff, and I'm just like, all these fucking people are cringe, man. I just don't care. The real people are cringe, okay?
Real people are cringe. It's a mad thing. My problem with it is exactly what you said. It's very overproduced. You can tell that like the producers have obviously done their research and all the people that are taking part.
Yeah.
For example, there's a mother and son duo in there, and like from the get-go, okay, they're gonna be key to the whole freaking series, because one, they're a mother and son duo. It's TV that is investing you. It's like, oh, I want to see what happens to them.
Yeah.
Are they going to be pitted against each other? Blah, blah, blah.
And it's like the first guy that speaks, you're like, oh, they've set him up to be the dickhead.
Isn't it 465 or something like that?
Yeah.
Because he's the one that set up
He's like, I'm the guy.
I've got the number, so he's got the fucking number. And
Yeah.
obviously they've given it to him because and like you said, what they do with him as well is they really paint him out to be the villain through like the first 4 episodes as well.
Yeah, because every Squid Game series, like season, has that 1 or 2 people in the game that you're just like, I hate you.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate you. And that's what that guy was.
Yeah.
At least where I was watching. Like, but yeah, it's just so obvious that they're like, we're gonna make you very unlikable.
Yeah, and that's my problem with it as well, is that like with this kind of TV, it's obviously like the producers have a narrative to make the show more interesting.
Yeah.
Because you've got so many people, you've got to hone in on certain ones. And they've done their interviews, they've done their research, they know who's going to be good for TV. And they focus in on those people bit by bit.
Yeah.
You see, this is one thing. So you can obviously tell who they've set up at the start. So there's that guy who is obviously painted out to be a massive dickhead. I'm sure, the thing is, in real life, I'm pretty sure he's absolutely lovely. This is one thing. There's a lot of people in here that get painted out as things.
I'm sure everyone's fine outside of the show, but like they have gone into this show to be like, I want to win money, right? And I want to be on like Squid Game, so it's super cool, right? But then you can clearly see the producers are like, right, what made the actual show great? So we've got these character types, these archetypes, we need these people. And it's like, cool. So we got that guy, we got these people, we got the mother and son, we got the best friends, we got the girl who's like, I can always see the future. I know everything that's going to happen. So you got your weird, like spiritual, supernatural person.
Yeah, you have your characters in there. Yeah.
You can see it that they literally are just like ticking boxes, like, cool, got that. We got this, solid.
Yeah. And it's like, it's annoying with it as well, because what happens is that obviously the producers have their key people they want to hone in on.
Yeah.
But obviously, because this is a game where hundreds of people are playing, there are going to be at times where it's going to be like, okay, so the producers have no control over it. Like, it's down to the players themselves.
Yeah.
So the key people they're focusing on, the main characters the producers have set up, sometimes don't make it past a certain episode. So there'll be like certain points where like they could probably orchestrate as much as they could, but at the end of the day, it's in the hands of the contestants.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to give you a little bit of spoiler here as well.
Oh, I don't care.
That guy that we talked about, the guy that's painted out to be the villain,
yeah,
ends up getting eliminated in episode 4, not because like someone chooses to eliminate him, but it's in the game of battleships out of everything.
Nice.
So it's not even like someone says.
So it's just a random element.
It's just a random. That's one thing. So I reckon they wanted him in for the long run, but they can't control when someone's doing battleships. They're not going to step in and be like, "Hey guys, sorry, can you just choose a different number because we want to keep that guy in." Like,
we want to make it really obvious to everyone. We've already pre-picked the winner. That's why we gave him the number.
Yeah.
Okay, you all will lose regardless because we picked that guy.
And what you end up with here is that you can produce it as much as possible, but at the end of the day, the people that they really honed in on, like, get a furthest, right, to maybe like episode 7 or 8, and then you're left with people who obviously they probably haven't planned for, but then they're like, okay, cool, what can we make a story out of these people? What's your backstory? What's this kind of thing? And they're people that are, in comparison to some of the earlier people you're focused in on, like, in the nicest way, they don't have the most over-the-top backstory, or they don't have the over-the-top characteristics that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So you kind of left with a handful of like quite nice average people, which is good. Like, that is good to see, I guess. But what they're aiming for is not that.
That's not Squid Game.
You know, the producers weren't aiming for that. They're looking for your villain character to make it to the end. You're looking for your hero.
Yeah, they want your handful of good people that are like, no, we got to be fair. And the producers also want that handful of people, like in Squid Game, that'll just throw humanity out and be like, I'm going to fuck everybody up because I want that money. But here's the thing, people in real life aren't that crazy desperate. At least the
No.
ones willing to go on TV, because everyone knows there's fucking cameras everywhere.
And what ends up happening is that, like, by the last, like, 9, say, there's only, like, one person that might be willing to be like, I want to do this for myself. And then the rest of them are kind of like, look, it's fair game, it's chance, we'll leave it to chance, it's all good. If you get eliminated, that's how it be. And a lot of them are like that. They're like, hey, the game's the game. If you get eliminated by chance, that's it. And then there's only one person, like, that's like, no, I want to do it for myself. And obviously, they get painted out to be the dickhead in that because of the editing and the overproduction of it.
Yeah.
And like you said, those pieces to cameras and stuff like that, they're there, and obviously they're there to show you what those people are like, give them their backstories, give them their characteristics. You want to get behind this person. And what happens is, like, throughout this whole thing, like, I think there might have been one guy that I thought, hey, he's cool. But the rest of them, I was like, okay, cool. I'm watching this for the sake of the episode at the end of the day. I probably could have ducked out a lot earlier, but I was like, I'm dedicated. I want to see how this all plays out. I want to see what the final round looks like. I want to see how they're going to do that.
Did they play the titular Squid Game?
No, they didn't.
What was even the point?
What ends up happening is when you get down to the final 3, because, you know, like in, like, obviously because this is focused on season 1.
Yeah.
You had, like, in that first season, you had everyone, like, those final 3 dressed in the tuxedos, didn't you?
Yeah.
You even had that in season 2 as well. But, like, they're going for the season 1 vibes in it.
Yeah, because it's like the final meal before the last game.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then they had that, and then they're like, oh, there's a twist. There's a game to get you down to the final 2. And it was like, okay. And my problem with this, right, is that, and my problem with a lot of the, oh, it's a chance thing, like, sometimes feels like, wait, so did the producers have a say in who they wanted to eliminate here? Because in the penultimate game, the final 3, there's 3 buttons, right?
Okay.
Like, so one button puts you through to the final 2, and you get to choose your opponent. One button is a neutral button, so nothing happens if you press it.
Okay.
And another button is you're eliminated.
Okay.
So there's 3 buttons there, and, like, you don't know which one you're pressing, basically. And you only find out which one you've pressed until it lights up that color.
Okay, I see why your question of did the producers have a hand in it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because we don't know, like, any of those buttons could go to different colors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like a game of chance. This feels like an opportunity.
They could have been RGB buttons for all we know, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know that it's, like, up to chance. We could easily be like, okay, producers have chosen what color they want. So someone presses the button, and then it takes, like, again, it could be editing. I don't know. This is one thing, because they stand around there and it's, like, all tense and stuff. And that could be editing. The thing could have lighted up that color before.
I like to think the editing cuts out all the moments they press and they're like, right, cut. And then it's like, okay, so if you guys can just take a step back. You know, like, crew come in and then like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We got to move this button out and we got to put the colored one in. Sorry, if you can get ready to cry because you're lost, wicked, thanks. Action.
This is the one thing, you know. So the first button gets pressed. It's a neutral button. So it's like, oh, so this guy has a 50-50 chance of going through and choosing his opponent or getting eliminated. He pressed the button, he's eliminated. But, like, because the thing is, with that final 3, 2 of them were friends, and then there was one Vietnamese lady who was, like, kind of like she's...
No, they want to fucking set up like the end of season 1 where it's 2 childhood friends, like...
But they didn't. This is the one thing they didn't, though.
They didn't. Okay, at least they didn't.
Yeah, so, and part of me is like, did they want it to be like, oh, it's like a friend against friend, or did they want it to be like, oh, because the other woman, the Vietnamese lady, had caused some controversy in the previous couple games.
Okay.
And these other 2 guys are quite friendly with each other and haven't really done anything too controversial. So it's like, I feel like it's one of those ones where it's like...
Yeah, if you separate the 2 guys, then that means you've got more chance of something happening.
Yeah.
Also, it had to be a Vietnamese woman or Asian or something, like, to causing a bit of trouble. Like, come on, guys, you're making us all look bad.
Yeah, like, if she had, like, it's one of those ones that she had, like, a kind of sad backstory as well, I guess, like, because I think she had to flee Vietnam, like, during some of the things and all the stuff that went down. Too clued up in history, but yeah. No.
Fair.
And then in the final game, it isn't the Squid Game,
Mhm.
what happens is it's rock, paper, scissors, and whoever wins gets to go into a bowl of keys and try and unlock the safe. Because there's one key in this pile of keys that unlocks the safe, basically.
Oh, come on.
They do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins goes, picks up a key.
They couldn't come up with anything better. Come on.
Yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors feels like such a cop out, especially when you have the whole of the Squid Game to do something, and it just felt like, okay, cool. So,
Bruh, they could have even done the entry game from the series. That would have been more interesting.
yeah,
Especially if it's like, right, you take it in turns to try and flip the thing.
Yeah.
If you fail, you get to slap each other. That would have been like, way, God, then. That would be a great last game.
just seeing the two normal people slap each other.
Well, yeah, and you could still do your stupid bowl of keys thing, but
Yeah.
it's just like, you fucked up, bitch. Pow.
Because they did have that game as a random, like, obscure challenge kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like, so these two guys were off doing chores or whatever, and then someone walks in and is like, you're given a challenge, and you play the game, and then it was like, oh, it's this thing, and
Then a guy in a suit comes in and he's like, you want to be in a game? You want to play a game?
imagine that. Imagine if they got the original like recruiter to come in and be like, it's time to do this, and then start slapping. That'd be funny.
Oh my God.
So it's a really throwaway challenge.
Nah, that's lame.
Yeah, so it's kind of just okay. In the wider scheme of things, it is quite lame. But what was the other? The thing that annoyed me as well with this is that they always do these random cutaways of the pink guys in suit. There was the masked like suit people. Like,
Oh, yeah. You know what it is? I think it's because they want to remind you that this is based off of Squid Game. That's just it.
yeah. Because these cutaways mean nothing.
Yeah.
They mean like it's like, okay, cool. So I'm just watching this guy press some buttons and switch cameras or whatever.
Or walk down a hallway or
Yeah.
something. Like, because that's what I saw a lot was just them like putting on their mask or like walking down a hallway in
Yeah.
that first like half hour. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's Squid Game.
I feel that you're right. It's to remind people that, this isn't just a random themed challenge thing. They're actually in the Squid Game. But like, they're so unnecessary, and you can tell that obviously they've put these camera switches in post production as well. So it's probably just like they probably spent like maybe an hour at most just going in between. Like, look, okay, you guys, can you just like press that button there? To pretend you're watching the screen.
Just pretend you're doing something. Yeah.
Just doing like random cutaways of just someone standing around watching the screens, or there's 8 people like switching between the cameras.
Yeah.
And I understand you have to remind people that it's Squid Game, but Jesus, it just felt like, okay, here's the obligatory cutaway, and here's this thing, and it's like, ugh. Just, a lot of it felt like so unnecessary. It's so clunky at times.
Yeah, I get that.
And I think that shows in some of the games as well. Some of the games felt a bit forced and like, it's this thing to cause tension and stuff.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think it was a health and safety issue? That's why they didn't use paintball guns?
Yes, I think so. Because I think,
Because I think it would have been funny
yeah.
and a little more like closer to the show if you lost and you just got shot with a paintball gun.
Yeah, 100%. There would have been complaints. There's health and safety for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon in this game in this whole thing, we can't have anyone get hurt, like physically hurt. You can't get anyone get physically hurt in these challenges. Is the thing.
I suppose you can't also. I was just thinking like you could also fake it. Like still have the squibs.
Yeah.
And then just have someone look like they're firing a paintball gun.
Yeah.
They've already done these bumpers, right? Or these other things. So just have one of just one of the random jumpsuit guys like fire off a fake paintball gun and then activate the squib, and then people still look down and go, "Oh no!"
Yeah. They could have easily done. I think it's just like they're owning it. The fact that like you don't see a gun at all in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously they taken away the guns as well. Because obviously when they go into the bunker bit in the original Squid Game, like there's someone holding a gun. But yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's got fucking they've got like.
And there's not a gun in sight in this for understandable. Like, you don't want people to look like they're being held hostage in this game.
Not even like a water pistol, you know?
Imagine it just turns into Takeshi's Castle at that point.
Just got a random kabuki
Yeah.
guy with a glove and some ink. Like,
And I would have loved that so much more.
that would have been so funny.
Just replace all the pink suit people with the like Takeshi's Castle cast. So
It's just Takeshi's Castle cutting in between.
Yeah.
It's just random people running through like, the honeycomb maze, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
that would have been so good. Like this is the thing. Takeshi's Castle is so much more entertaining because you don't need all the backstory of all these people.
Yeah.
Just let me see these guys run in, like do what they some people are like, whoa, he did really good, and that's it. Like, yeah.
Watch people run and do these challenges and smash their faces on stuff.
Yeah, man.
Because it turns out it's a show from like the 80s or something.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so fucking
Ugh.
Takeshi's Castle, so like legendary. Just shout out to that.
Dude, that would have been way better. Like, because I was just thinking, like, how could they have made this more palatable, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, instead of picking people to be like, you're this, you're that, you're that, I know it would take longer to get invested in people, but like, if you just played the games and let things sort of play out, and then you're like, these people are naturally like this, and then you started honing in on those people, you know? But I guess that would take too long.
I think that's the thing with it. It's like, obviously, they've got to do so many checks as well, like psych checks, make sure these people are good to go into this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it ticks off a box when they like a pre-series, like a pre-game interview on like all these other things. And I imagine not all of these are pre-game either. Some of them are definitely filmed afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And like, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, so like, because the confessionals are obviously filmed afterwards, not filmed during, so it's like
Yeah, because they're wearing street clothes.
yeah, exactly. So it's one of those ones where it's just like, of course it's and even like the, you know, the one-to-one ones where they're actually in the jumpsuits and stuff like that. There's certain bits where, like, you know, it's like, okay, cool. That's just reality TV at the end of the day. Like, they'll get some,
Yeah.
like, oh, so tell us how you felt in that moment, but make it sound like it's present. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And it's like,
yeah, pretty much. Or it's like, I don't remember. All right, we'll show you a clip real quick.
Exactly.
And then just make it sound like you just did it.
Yeah. Or like, oh yeah, did they make you feel angry with that? Or like, the thing is, like, with reality TV as well, there's certain ways that you can get those over the top reactions with it.
Yeah.
And there's scripting techniques for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of shows like making you redo takes so that
Yeah.
eventually you get what it is naturally because they're just tired of saying the same
Yeah.
fucking thing or getting asked the same question.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing in it where it's like, it's the rage kind of stuff that comes through with it. And it's just that's the nature of reality TV, innit? That's how you get your stuff. I mean, if you gotta get it, if you're sent out, like, make a good show, make it high tension. All this is how you do it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I don't like about reality TV. It's all that. It's when you're just like, it's clearly not realistic, you know? It's not like it's pushed in a way or manipulated in a way that I just find a lot of reality TV is you can see the strings, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, everyone's a puppet and I can just see the puppet master like controlling everything.
Part of me wishes I was a bit more oblivious to it, because then I probably would enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, same, honestly.
I think when you know how produced these shows are, it takes the fun out of it a lot. And I think that's probably like,
It loses the magic, innit?
yeah, that's the problem with it.
That's why the saying exists. You should never learn how the sausage is made.
Yeah, and it's exactly that, because this is filmed in, I think it's filmed in the US as well.
I think. I'm not entirely sure, though.
Yeah, I'm not entirely, like, wherever the studio space may have been or whatever, because it feels like there's a good mix of people with different backgrounds as well. There's like,
Well, I mean, there was one dude from like the north because he was just like, oh yeah, I'm just here to make friends.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you don't have an American accent.
the friend guy, yeah, okay, then they got rid of him instantly.
Well, Well, yeah, because he's boring, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if you think about everything that would happen in a Squid Game, right? In the actual show, if someone went, "I'm just here to make friends," he'd die immediately.
Yeah.
Everyone would make sure to get rid of him.
Yeah, that's it. And there's actually like in towards the end of it, there were like a handful of British people in there as well. There was there's three. There's a woman from Liverpool. There's a woman from down south. There was like there's some other random dude. I don't know where he was from, but like, they're all from the UK. And I was like, oh, okay, look, UK representation, I guess. There's probably a lot more in there, but it was abundant. It was vastly American, the cast of it.
I don't know, because I didn't include it because I couldn't corroborate it. There were some things I was seeing that it was like a British production potentially, so maybe that's why.
Studio Lambert, I think, is a British.
I mean, that sounds more British than anything.
Yeah. 'Cause, what have they done before? I feel like Studio Lambert have done something else that's really recognizable. I can't put my finger on it.
I don't know, but like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's from when I was looking it up, I saw something about British production. Probably could have just looked up the studios, but like, you know.
I mean, yeah, Studio Lambert, they've been doing The Traitors. They do Race Across the World, Gogglebox,
Oh, okay.
The Circle. Yeah, like hugely popular reality shows.
Okay, well then maybe it was British production then.
Must have been, yeah.
Maybe it is an actual British production.
But obviously Netflix budget, and then it's like going like full whack with that kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah, Undercover Boss.
Maybe that's why there's enough, Brits in it.
Yeah. Like, it's very diverse with that kind of thing. So yeah, makes sense. But yeah, it's hard for me to recommend this as well because I don't think it's entirely my thing, and I think you'd say the same as well. You wouldn't recommend it, but it's
Oh, I would easily not recommend this and never call this my kind of thing.
yeah, it's immediately, yeah. So
Mate, if people couldn't get that from the fact that I watched half of the first episode, like,
yeah, I think a lot of the way I watched it as well, it was like kind of obligatory more than anything. I feel like when season 2 comes out, I'm not gonna watch season 2. It's not my.
yeah,
But again, like, it's not my thing with this. Like, I think again because I know, like you said, how the sausage is made, how the production stuff, if it works, it just weren't it.
yeah,
And I think when you're trying to copy Squid Game so much, there's obviously certain things you can't include, like outside factors. With like obviously in the other seasons or whatever, you had like, oh, the guy that's like trying to save like people or whatever, try and find the island.
yeah. You've got the B stories, in it. Yeah,
You have those other stories going on, and like the front man as well, like all this kind of stuff. So it's like,
it doesn't work because you take out intrinsically what makes Squid Game quite tense, and it's the fact that in the series people die.
yes, that is another
So the stakes are set immediately.
so much hard. Yeah, that's it.
Also, because like in the show, the world is in so much despair because all these people are heavily, and I mean like incredibly heavily in debt. So they're willing, also because it's a fucking fictional show, you can write characters to be way more willing to do heinous acts. Whereas in real life, you could be in a lot of debt. That's why you're in a show. Fair enough.
Yeah,
But like, no one dies, no one can get injured.
yeah.
Not saying I want to see people get injured, but you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the things that make the series tense and, people doing things that you would hate in a reality TV show, that's not going to happen unless
Yeah.
they actually let in some sort of psychopath that is just going to walk around and beat the shit out of people for no
Yeah.
reason. But they're not going to have someone like that on camera.
No, absolutely not. And if they did, they'd just get rid of them immediately.
Yeah.
There probably are. There probably were some people that were in that show that might have actually done that.
Yeah.
But then they're like, we can't show them at all. They can literally get blacklisted. No footage of them released at all. Not even in background
exactly.
shots or anything like that. So those people are like wiped from it. And it's like you said as well, because there's no risk of death and there's no tension and there's no death. Like, a lot of people be like, okay, I'll just walk away from this the same how I did before.
Yeah.
I like, that's it. I just like, I'm still, I'm not in any more debt than I was. I'm walking away with my life. So all of that tension, which is really, really built up in the original series,
Yeah.
just isn't there because everyone's kind of there for a bit of fun.
It just doesn't exist. Yeah.
Unless you really, really want to go for the 4 million, I'll do anything for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, there are some people like that, like that are desperate to get money, but not obviously, like you said, not desperate enough to go around hitting people.
Yeah, and like it's a different thing from like the old kind of like game shows, quote unquote, that we watched on old British TV, like Takeshi's Castle, because Takeshi's Castle was filmed in a time where health and safety wasn't nearly as prevalent.
Yeah.
So it's old footage of Japanese people running through these obstacle courses and eating absolute shit and smashing their heads on things. Plenty of people probably got absolute injuries, like lifelong injuries from, you know, like the stepping stones, for example.
'Cause they went
where some of the
face
stones
planted
move
that
and
stuff.
some don't. Yeah. Some of them face planted these rocks, and some people went headfirst into the water. I'm sure got concussions and things.
The fact they get a helmet and that's it is wild.
Yeah, right.
There's your protection there, but it's like,
So, like, it's different from that because, again, there you can see actual people going full whack doing a dangerous thing. In this, I already know none of that is going to happen.
And it feeds into this whole thing of like these, what is it, hundreds of people narrowed down to one winner kind of shows. It's like Beast Games, for example, another really popular show. I haven't watched it, but obviously there was a lot of the controversy that came out around it during filming.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, like they didn't give us like change of clothes or whatever. They didn't feed us properly.
Yeah.
And that you can see the difference, right, in something like that compared to this Netflix show where they probably got NDA to fuck. Like anything that came out of it. Like, I imagine there's probably like levels of NDAs in Beast Games as well, but like this is Netflix.
Not
see here.
to the scale, like not like this kind of production. If anything went wrong, they definitely heavy NDAs. Lawyers on call, like that shit was sorted then in there, most likely.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. There's probably was a more like direct health and safety thing. There's probably like with Netflix as well. There's probably a bigger health and safety like lawyer there. Like there's probably legal things before that even the show begins. There's like that coverage there. There's so much more of it. Not saying like the Beast Games one didn't have that, but I feel like on Netflix and Squid Game, it's probably up a lot more. I can imagine it's like
I'm sure on Squid Game the challenge you probably had to sign some sort of waiver to even get on camera before that you even got to that stage.
Absolutely. But like I said, I don't think either of us would recommend this.
No.
But for those that do love your reality TV and really love that kind of thing,
you'll probably like it.
You probably will. That's it. Yeah, it's like it's all that kind of stuff.
I'm sure we both wish we were like you and we could just enjoy these things and not overanalyze and see behind the scenes without actually seeing behind the scenes. Life is a lot nicer when you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot more enjoyable, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that roughly, if there's anything else you want to say, Nathan, on this before we wrap it up at all?
No.
Nah, he's good. I'm also good. But let us know if you watched Squid Game The Challenge. You're going to be watching the next seasons. Imagine if you were part of it. Were you part of it? Let us know, I guess. If you applied to be on it, let us tell us.
That would be crazy if someone from the thing was like, wow, that was a crazy experience. I was on the show. I think I do genuinely be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how have you found us is the main thing. Like,
yeah,
I
know.
Yeah.
How did you find us?
Like, wow. Why are you commenting? Part of me's like, yeah, you asked. I didn't expect you to listen. But yeah. Remember, but anyway, guys, thank you for this. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Check the links in our description. We have all of our podcast platforms there. And we will see you guys next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.